Hello, my name is Chris Palmer, and this is part 2 for my off-page SEO link building strategy over the course of 60 days, 8 weeks, what you should do step by step for a brand new website. So enjoy number 2. This is picking up where we left off. Let's not waste any time. Second tier that we built to the first tier. Now, to our social profile, you want to start sending links to that entity. So this is the social, all right? And you want to build out links. So this would be our tier 3 links to our social, all right? So that's going to be week number 4. Now, sticking with week number 5, we're going to move right into week number 5. So now that we are on week number 5, nothing is really changing here, except for in week number 5, we're going to introduce our press release, all right, or press releases. Now, there are numerous companies out there that have different qualities and different quantities of press releases that they release at different costs. And this is going to be up to your budget allocation to decide what is best for your business. Now, I'm not here to mention any recommendations, but there are some top tier quality businesses out there that offer some of the best press releases out there. So you may want to do your due diligence and find something that's going to work for you. As a piece of information, there are companies out there that allow embeds, that will allow iframing, that will allow video. So do some research, see what is going to work out best for you. And another tip is there are companies out there that will not wash or will not flush out the press releases in a 90-day period. It may last a year, it might last 2 years, it might last 6 months. So see how long your press releases will be live on the sites, and that could be also a determining factor if you want to build press releases through that company. So this is going to be week number 5. Week number 5, we have introduced our press releases, and a press release, you could build a press release on anything, that you've launched a site, that you have a new article, that you have a new member to your facility or faculty or anything. It doesn't matter, that you've updated your contact form. I mean, you could truly create a press release about anything. So a lot of people get that confused, but a press release could be anything related to your brand, your person, or your business. So that's going to be press releases for week number 5. And also along week number 5, I like to build out a few more citations depending on the amount that were built in week number 2. So this is also another great time to build out some citations, some more citations for your business. And then of course we want to stick to our normal velocity. You want to do 1 or 2 directly to the money site. That means the home page. And then you want to build out another 1 link, all right, to one of your ranking pieces of content, because now we're already in the weeks. This is going to be 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, your content has been live. So you should start acquiring links to that content or doing some outreach. So that could be a niche edit, a guest post, something linking back to your ranking pieces of content. So 1 to 2 links to the main money site, 1 link to one of your main articles, your ranking content. So I'm just going to put that off of here. So that's going to be 1 link to your ranking content. All right. Now we're moving into week number 6. Now by this time, you should really start seeing some movement in the SERPs. By this time, depending on your niche, depending on the age of your site, depending on the age of your competition sites, this is when you should start seeing a little bit of movement. Maybe you should start seeing a trickle of traffic. But this is where it really starts picking up. So week number 6, again, we're not building out hundreds of links. We're building out 1 or 2. We're keeping the velocity the same. So with week number 6, we want to send out 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 more links to each of our social properties. Remember, social entities are just as important, maybe not just as important, but they are very crucial to a business and a brand, and they acquire links just like a money site. They need to be treated as such. These social entities are so important and people overlook them. I cannot stress to you enough that you need to baby and coddle these social properties because they're great for acquiring traffic, they're great for syndicating out content to acquire traffic, and they're excellent for getting new pages and new backlinks indexed. So we need to start sending out links to our social properties. Now, how you do this and how your budget is set up is not for me to decide. I shouldn't say that you should only do this. Whatever your risk tolerance is going to decide if you use straight PBNs, if you're going to use niche edits, if you're going to use link insertions, if you're going to do straight manual white hat outreach. That's really going to be up to you. But depending on your overall goal and the longevity that you want your site to live on for is going to be one of the main deciding factors of how you handle your linking strategy for 2020. So it's going to be links to your social properties, and then of course, as you already know, and I'm sure you can guess what I'm going to say here, is you're going to build out 1 to 2 more links to your main homepage money site. But again, right here, by this time you should have more content being built, another asset, other keywords that you're targeting. You should really build out at least 1 link to 1 main piece of your ranking content. All right, so that's 1 link to ranking content. So we're going to go ahead and move on into week number 7, and I hope that you're seeing how this is done. I hope that this is helping you. This is where we want to go ahead and start upping our velocity and our quantity. See, you thought I was going to continue the 1 or 2, but you can actually start ramping up as the time goes on and as depending on your competition. So this is where we're going to go ahead and push out some more links to our social properties. So it's going to be social links. And remember, when you're pushing out links to your social properties, these could be of lower quality, but not at first. And it's also really good to power up your tiers instead of directly to the social entities. I want to clarify that. So if you could build links to your links, that's always the greatest thing to do. So I would recommend doing that. But again, this is going to be up to you and your risk tolerance for your campaign. So it's going to be social links. And then instead of 1 to 2 links going to the main money site, I would recommend at this point in the game building out 2 to 4, depending on the competition and depending on if you're starting to see traffic yet organically in the SERP. Now, we're going to move into week number 8. And for week number 8, this is where a lot is going to happen. Week number 8, you should really be out of the pause period, the sandbox period, you could really start ramping up. So this is always a turning point for a lot of sites that I have seen. So for week number 8, what I like to do, this is where we want to build out another ranking page of content. All right, so this is huge, which will lead us to another ultra quality press release. So we want to put out some press release or put out a press release syndication. Now, this is very important, and I want you to pay attention. All of the linking that we have been doing this last month, that last week that we did our 2 to 4, and all of the links that we've been building, we need to validate those links. Now, when you're building out links and there's link velocity, how you validate your links is by producing social signals. There needs to be buzz within the interwebs. People should be talking about you. Social signals, people talking on social, your name being mentioned in other places validates your link building. I want you to think about it like this. If there's a website out of nowhere and you have a blog about, I don't know, dog nail clipping, right? Because my dog's sitting over here. You have a blog about dog nail clipping and you have now built 30 links, but you don't have any social entities. There's nobody online talking about you. There's no tweets about you. There's nothing, but you're building links. Does that make sense to you? Or there's a buzz online, there's citations being built, there's press releases, there's buzz on the interwebs about you, and you're acquiring links. That makes more sense. So social signals validate link building. So this is very, very important. In week number 8, we're going to build out more ranking content. That's RC. We're going to build out a press release or press releases. This is going to be a high quality. We're going to stick with our link building. So we want to stick with our 2 to 4. So I would send a link directly or 2 links directly to the money site. And then you want to send 2 links now to this brand new ranking content, right? Or you could send it to the bottom of a silo if you're using filler content. But I like to send my links directly to ranking content. And then wherever or however you create a buzz, all right, or call them social signals, however you want to create the buzz online, if you want to use a service, there's tons of services out there. You need to send out social signals. And again, the social signals will validate all of the link building that you have done in the past 8 weeks. So that's going to be the very last piece, and the most important piece is your social signals. All right. And that could be Twitter retweets. That could be posts. That could be, there's tons and tons. If you're not exactly sure what a social signal is and what is the most beneficial, then please do a quick search. But my name is Chris Palmer. This is a 60-day off-page plan. And like I mentioned, there is no off-page without on-page and technical. That needs to be nailed first. It's so important. Another big takeaway is to validate link building, there needs to be a social presence. There needs to be a buzz, or you need to manufacture the buzz. And what I mean by the buzz is there needs to be talk, there needs to be chatter. If you're building links and there's people that know about you and that your site's good enough to link to, then why wouldn't you have buzz or people talking about your site? So in any case, this is my 60-day plan. This plan may be aggressive for some, but I feel wherever your link velocity is 1 to 2 links, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, whatever that velocity is, you need to build your links in that velocity week by week, building out your citations and your press releases like I've laid out here. If you follow this plan for the next 8 weeks, along with producing pieces of content, ranking content, and you're building links strategically, you will be ranking, if not already, in the next 90 days from that 8-week mark. So my name is Chris Palmer. If you have questions about link building, about off-page SEO strategies, off-page SEO anything, backlinking, SEO, local SEO, Facebook ads, YouTube, if you just want to ask me a question or if you just want to say hi, please do it in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next off-page SEO video for 2020. Have a wonderful day.